Akash Inti, the real reflection of you. All right, so I haven't made a video in, I think it's been a little bit over a week or so. Um, I will say one of the busier weeks that I've had in quite some time, and so it's all good. I just remembered today, I'm like, you know what? I haven't made a video in like a week or so, so I decided that I wanted to make a video today. There's a lot of topics that came to mind to me over this week. There's one thing about like what's real versus what's not real. Another topic around like when everything indicates like one thing. Still, I guess faith. Faith would be the topic there. Not knowing what to do. Like, what do you do when you don't know what to do? And then believing in oneself, so those are a few different topics that like just in some way, shape, or form were percolating in the back of my mind, and I was like, oh, I could totally do a video on this today, but I'm gonna do a video about none of them. And I have a little itch on the inside of my nose, and I wasn't sure if you were able to see a nose hair, but I don't think you can, so I'm not gonna put any more attention to it. Today, personally, I'm not feeling the best. I have had a couple little things here and there. A meeting that I would have wished went one way, but went a different way. What is this called? Communication, I guess, that reminded me about a person, and then also just not necessarily feeling the greatest as it relates to how like finances and everything's going, and at the same time I'm doing everything that I possibly can to make sure that, well, that's one story, and I could totally believe it and buy into it, etc. But if I do that, that's just the beginning of the end, because I don't know about you guys, but me personally, I've realized that if I start going down a particular train of thought and I start seeing the world from that perspective, all of a sudden, that's what happens, But when I decide to actively, well, maybe that's the case, maybe it's not, I don't really know. When I decide to not decide, funny enough, when I'm like, let's see. That's when things change, and I find the momentum moving in my direction. Now, it's not the easiest practice in the world. And funny enough, even by making this video right now, in the 3 minutes and 10 seconds that I've been on this video, I'm already feeling much better just by like communicating it outward. And that's not going to change anything, right? That doesn't change the circumstances with which I am in right now, but it changes my perspective. And I find that it's that perspective change that begins to change the circumstances, if you know what I mean. In other words, if I have, and I kind of talked about this already, and this is me looping it again, I guess, at this point, but if I have one perspective on one matter of like, oh, this sucks, this is terrible, it's the worst thing in the world that ever happened, well, I'm going to start seeing how terrible it is and experience that, this, that, and the other thing. But if I change my perspective, or if I just suspend my perspective, in other words, like, if I'm like, well, this is what happened, these are the facts of the matter, and that's it, these are the facts, these are my feelings on the facts, okay, well, I don't know what it means. I could decide in a split second of what it means, but what if I hold off and reserve judgment on what these facts and my opinions, at least at the time, are? Maybe I go out and go for a jog, though I'm not really the jogging type, or maybe I go for a workout or something like this. I go socialize with a close friend or something like this. It'll change my perspective, and then I'll come back to that, and I'll see it in a different light. So, it's something that I continue to find and uncover in my life, how important it is. And even this little video right now has helped me do that, even in the day that I'm in. So, and if you only knew the circumstances, I mean, maybe you might be like, psh, that's it? That's what was bothering you? Another person might be like, oh my gosh, you were dealing with that? Holy cow. I don't know what it is that your take would be on it. And, but that's me, you know? Those are the things that I deal with on a daily basis. I'll see you guys later. Until the next one. It could be a week, it could be a month, it could be an hour.